Let's continue learning how to crochet the Galsang flower, divided into flowers and calyx. Let's start with crocheting the flowers. Use the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise along the magic ring. No new stitch techniques are used. Now, let's show. Start with a magic ring. Then crochet 6 single crochets in the magic ring. After completing, close the loop. Finally, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. That completes the first round. Next, let's move on to the second round. Chain 1 as beginning chain, then in the same stitch where you joined, work a single crochet first. Then work a SC2 in 1. That is, crochet 2 single crochets in the same stitch. After crocheting, continue to refer to the pattern and complete this round. After finishing, end with a slip stitch. That completes the second round. Next, let's move on to the third round. Let's take a look. One stitch has 2 strands like this. The strand closer to you is the front loop. The strand farther from you is the back loop. For this round, pick up only the back loops for crocheting. Chain 1 as beginning chain. Start with the SC2 in 1. Then work a single crochet in the next stitch. Continue to refer to the pattern and complete this round. After finishing, end with a slip stitch. Leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn, then weave in the ends. That completes the third round. Next, let's move on to the fourth round. For this round, pick up the remaining half loops from the second round. Start by joining the yarn. Chain 1 as beginning chain. Then work a single crochet in the same stitch. Next, chain 3. Work a single crochet in the adjacent stitch. Chain 3 again. Continue following the chart to complete this round. After finishing the last 3 chains, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. Leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. That completes the 4th round. Now let's work on the 5th round. Start by joining the yarn at the first stitch of the 3rd round. Then chain 7. Next, work slip stitches from the second to last chain. After completing that, work a slip stitch into the next 2 stitches of the 3rd round. Work a slip stitch in each of these stitches. Then chain 7 again. Work slip stitches from the second to last chain once more. After finishing, work a slip stitch into the next adjacent stitch of the 3rd round. Chain 7 again. Then work slip stitches from the second to last stitch. After completing, work slip stitches into the next 2 adjacent stitches of the 3rd round. Continue following the chart to complete this round. Once finished, join the yarn in the same position. Work another slip stitch to join. That completes the 5th round. Now continue using this sample to crochet the 6th round. Start with a chain as beginning chain. For this round, wrap the wire before crocheting. Take out the wire, leave about 10 cm and place it above the hook. Crochet while carrying the yarn. Here, pick up the other 2 strands from the chain. Work 2 single crochets in sequence, 1/2 double crochet, and 2 double crochets. Then pick up the same insertion point as the first slip stitch. Work 7 double crochets. After completing, rotate the piece. Pick up the same spot where the slip stitch was inserted and continue crocheting. Start with 2 double crochets. One-half double crochet. And finally work 2 more single crochets. After finishing, you'll notice It's symmetrical to the previous stitch pattern. We can consider the completed section as one petal. Then crochet another petal in the adjacent chain position. Start with 2 single crochets. Remember to always crochet with the wire inside. 1/2 double crochet, and 2 double crochets. Then, at the same insertion point of the slip stitch, crochet 7 double crochets. After finishing, rotate the piece. Crochet the stitches symmetrical to the other side. Pay attention to the insertion position of the slip stitch while crocheting. This way, another petal is completed. Next, repeat this process, and continue following the chart to crochet all the petals. After completing the last petal, slip stitch into the first single crochet of the first petal. Tighten the yarn. This completes the 6th round. Reserve a segment of the wire before cutting it off. Next, let's crochet the 7th round. Start with 1 chain. Crochet 1 single crochet in the adjacent stitch. 1 chain. Continue with 1 single crochet in the next adjacent stitch. Crochet 1 chain between the single crochets as an interval. Refer to the chart while crocheting. Crochet 7 double crochets in the same position. First, work 1 single crochet in each of the first 3 double crochets. Work 1 chain as an interval between them. After completing, work 2 chains. Crochet 2 single crochets in the middle stitch. Work 2 chains as an interval. Then work 2 more chains. Crochet 1 single crochet in the adjacent stitch. Work 1 chain as an interval between them. Continue to refer to the diagram. Finish crocheting the stitches on this petal. When there is 1 stitch left on this petal, do not work a chain as an interval. Pick up the stitch and make 1 slip stitch. After completing, make 1 slip stitch in the second single crochet of the 3rd round. This is the same insertion point as the slip stitch of the 5th round. After finishing, work 1 slip stitch in the first single crochet of the adjacent petal. Make 1 slip stitch. Then follow the crocheting method used for the previous petal. Crochet the current petal. After finishing, make 1 slip stitch in the 4th stitch of the 3rd round. This is also the same insertion position as the slip stitch from the 5th round. Next, refer to the pattern and crochet the remaining part. After completing the last slip stitch, leave a yarn tail and fasten off. This completes 1 flower. Set it aside for later use. For crocheting the calyx afterward, use the magic ring method. Work around the magic ring. Here is the sample after completing the first 3 rounds. Continue with the 4th round. Make 1 beginning chain. Crochet 1 single crochet, 5 chains. Then pick up 1 strand above from the 2nd chain from the hook. Crochet into each stitch in sequence. 1 slip stitch, 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 slip stitch. These stitches correspond to 1 stitch from the 3rd round. Repeat this group in each stitch all around. Continue all the way down to complete the round. After finishing, join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. Leave a long yarn tail and fasten off. This completes the calyx. Continue crocheting the remaining calyces as needed. Next, we will crochet the daisies. Refer to the chart and crochet the first 3 rounds first. After completing them, move on to the 4th round. Now, let's show. Start by joining the yarn. For this round, pick up the front loops and crochet. Crochet 4 chains. Then, starting from the 2nd to last stitch, make a slip stitch. Crochet another slip stitch in the same stitch. Crochet 4 more chains. Then, starting from the 2nd to last stitch to work slip stitches. After finishing, in the adjacent stitch, pick up the front half loop, and crochet a slip stitch. Then crochet 4 chains. Then work a slip stitch on the way back. After completing it, crochet another slip stitch in the same position. Crochet 4 chains. Work a slip stitch on the way back. Continue referring to the chart to complete this round. After finishing, at the beginning position, crochet another slip stitch. After completing, cut the yarn. Next, let's work on the 5th round. Find the remaining back loops from the 3rd round, and join the yarn there. For this round, pick up only the back loops for crocheting. Make 1 beginning chain. Crochet 1 single crochet. Then work 1 SC2 tog. First, create 2 unclosed single crochets. Use the hook to pick up the back loop on the left side. Yarn over and pull through. The unclosed single crochet is now complete. Crochet 1 more stitch. Yarn over and draw through once. The SC2 tog is now done. Work 1 more single crochet. 1 SC2 tog. First, make 2 unclosed single crochets. Then yarn over and pull through once. SC2 tog is completed. After that, work 1 single crochet, and 1 SC2 tog. Finally, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Pull tight. 5th round completed. Leave a 30 cm tail, and cut the yarn. Thread the yarn tail onto a darning needle. Pick up the front loops of the last round stitches one by one. Tighten. Then cut a 20 cm piece of thin wire. Pass the wire through the last round. Fold it in half. Take out the glue. Use your finger to take a little glue. Apply it to one end of the thin wire. Wrap the yarn tail of the daisy evenly around the thin wire. Continue wrapping while applying a little more glue. After wrapping the desired distance, trim off the excess tail. Press for a while. This way, it will be secured more firmly. Take a look, and you've made one small daisy. Follow the demonstration. Make sure all the daisies are settled. Then move on to learn how to make lilies of the valley. They include small leaves and small lilies. Crochet them separately, and then assemble them together. Let's start with the small leaves. We will start from foundation chain. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Add thin wire while crocheting. No new stitch techniques are used here. Now, let's show. Start with a foundation chain. After the foundation chain is done, begin from the second to last stitch. Refer to the pattern and crochet the corresponding stitches. Before crocheting, take the thin wire, and weave it in together. The slip stitches here should not be pulled too tight. When you have one stitch left on the foundation chain, make one slip stitch into this chain. Then chain 2. And make one slip stitch. Continue crocheting the matching stitches on the other side of the foundation chain. After finishing, stretch the yarn tail, and then cut the yarn. Leave about 20 cm of yarn tail here. Cut off the starting yarn tail. Leave about 3 cm of the thin wire and then cut it. Then twist the wire slightly. This completes one small leaf. Follow the demonstration to crochet all the small leaves, and set them aside for use. Next, learn how to make the small lily of the valley. Let's take a look at the finished product. The small lily of the valley starts with the magic ring technique. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The first 6 rounds do not involve any new stitch techniques. Refer to the chart and crochet this part first. Then continue with the remaining 2 rounds. Now, let's show. This is the sample after completing the crocheting. Continue with the 7th round. Make one beginning chain. Work one single crochet and one SC2 tog. Pay attention here. Use the invisible decrease method for the SC2 tog. That is, pick up the front loop of the left stitch separately. Then yarn over and draw through. Yarn over again, and pull through all loops on the hook. One invisible SC2 tog is now completed. The 2 stitches you just crocheted form one group. Repeat this group's technique to complete the round. Remember to use the invisible SC2 tog throughout. After completing, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. The 7th round is now done. Next, we'll work on the 8th round. Start with 1 beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in the slip stitch position below. Then make 2 chains. And work 1 single crochet. Work 1 slip stitch on the left stitch. One group of stitches is now completed. Continue to complete the remaining 5 groups. After everything is done, end with a slip stitch in the starting single crochet. Break the yarn. Weave in the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. That's it, the little lily of the valley is completed. Next, cut a 2 0cm piece of thin wire. Thread 1 seed bead and fold it in half. Then thread 1 purl. Push the wire through the center of the lily of the valley. If the starting point is too small, you can widen it with a crochet hook. Then take out the yarn in the desired color. Wrap the wire. Apply glue on the wire. Like this. Place a small piece of yarn on the wire, and wrap all the way down around the entire wire. Press it for a while. That's it, one little lily of the valley is finished. Continue to crochet the rest of the lilies of the valley. Finally, let's assemble it. First, attach the leaves to the main part, then assemble the Galsang flowers and lilies of the valley separately. After that, assemble them at the corresponding positions. Next, let's assemble the leaves. I'll demonstrate using a sample of the cover. First, refer to the actual project, or place the leaves and sunflowers based on personal preference. Remember, part of the leaves should stick out. Pay attention to ensure the leaves are exposed a little. After confirming the position, pick up a few threads with the wire from the leaves. Then twist a few times. Secure the position of the leaves well. Next, insert the wire into the inside of the cover. If the wire is too long here, you can cut off a part of it. For the remaining yarn tails of the leaves, thread them through a sewing needle, and continue to secure the position and shape of the leaves. Finally, weave in the ends and fasten off the yarn. This way, one leaf is secured. Then assemble the lily of the valley. Take a look at the actual project. Here, the assembly is from top to bottom. Assemble the small lilies and small leaves in sequence. The distribution of positions can be referenced from the actual project, or adjust according to your preference. Below, I will demonstrate using a sample. First, take out the small leaves and small lilies. Then start wrapping the yarn on top. Wrap the yarn while adding the small lilies or small leaves. Here, I use a bead string as a substitute. This is the assembling method. When assembling, refer to the actual project, or adjust according to your preference. Adjust the overall length of the lily of the valley. Continue wrapping until the remaining wire part is finished. That's how the assembly method for the lily of the valley is completed. Next, attach it to the bag cover. After determining the position where it needs to be secured, if there is any wire extending beyond the bag cover, you need to cut off the excess part. Insert the wire into the approximate position of the bag cover first. Near the wire, take out the hot melt glue gun. Insert it into the small hole and apply the glue. After adjusting the position, wait for it to cool down. This way, it is secured well. If you don't have a hot melt glue gun, you can use the inner flame of a lighter to melt the glue stick and then attach it. You can pull the lily of the valley away for a certain distance. Apply glue at the base, and then quickly insert it into the small hole. After waiting for it to cool, if there are any traces of hot, melt glue on the surface, you can take the material of the bag cover and sew line segments to cover it. Alternatively, when assembling later, you can cover it with other decorations. The method depends on personal preference. Then take the yarn for the small leaves and use it to secure the lily of the valley to the handle. The method isn't fixed, as long as the secured part doesn't easily shift in position. This completes the assembly of the lily of the valley flower. Next, assemble the Galsang flower. Thread the yarn used for the first few rounds onto the sewing needle. Note, the sewing needle here, after being threaded with yarn, must be able to pass through the seed beads. Leave a yarn tail and come out from the center of the right side. Then evenly secure the seed beads. The number of seed beads depends on your preference. If you encounter a bead that won't pass through, you can remove it and replace it with another seed bead before continuing. After threading the required number of seed beads, tie a knot with the 2 yarn ends on the wrong side to secure them. Trim excess tails. Then assemble the calyx and the flower together. Insert the wire of the flower into the center of the back side of the calyx. Then apply glue to the center of the calyx. Press slightly for a while to secure it. Thread the remaining yarn from the calyx onto a sewing needle. Pick up the adjacent fabric between the calyx and the flower on the surface. Sew in a round to connect them. Pay attention to picking up the line segments on the surface while sewing. Make sure the yarn tails don't show on the right side. Sew an entire round like this. If there are any remaining yarn tails, exit from the center. Then wrap the yarn around the wire. If the tail end isn't long enough, you can cut it directly. Then take another piece of yarn and wrap it around the wire. The method is similar to the small lily of the valley. After wrapping the yarn, hide the flower's yarn tail, also on the wrong side. This is the assembly method for the Galsang flower. Now let's take a look at the actual project. 1 Galsang flower and 4 small daisies make up a group. Assemble them onto the bag cover. The assembly method is similar to how the lily of the valley flowers are attached to the bag cover. After assembling, you can use the yarn from the bag cover to conceal the wire used for securing. The sunflowers and ladybugs decorations. are both glued in the corresponding positions using hot melt adhesive. The exact placement can be adjusted according to your preference. Try not to leave any visible traces of the hot melt glue on the surface. The sunflower can also be attached using a sewing method. Sew it onto the corresponding position. Refer to the method used for sewing the leaves. That concludes the assembly of all the decorations. Finally, on both ends at the D-rings, attach the bag strap. Up to this point, we have covered everything about this headphone bag. If you have any unclear parts during the crocheting process, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's family. Support your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.